Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from USA International Speedway, previously Lakeland, Florida, USA, of course, no longer. But here and alive and well on the iRacing simulation, we've thrown some dirt on it, and we're going to throw some 410 wing sprint cars at it, and it's going to be live here on iRacing Live, RaceSpotTV, and of course, DirtVision.com. Stick with us for some good old-fashioned wing sprints here at USA.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of Outlaws.
Welcome to week 2 here at USA Speedway. It's the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series, and of course, live here on iRacing Live, RaceSpotTV, DirtVision, and of course, it is brought to you by RaceSpotTV and myself, Cam Walsh, Randy Chenoweth, Hugo Louis, of course, on the cameras. Randy, week 2 of season 2, and well, it's looking like these guys are getting their hands on these cars. The qualifying times are pretty much all in. Tim Ryan is one of the only cars that have still yet to put in their times, as well as Davey Scoville. But these guys are wrapping their heads around these cars, and these things are making them fly.
Well, Tim Ryan puts in his first lap, and it's actually a pretty quick one at an 18.006. Pole, though, currently held by Steven Renaud. That's a 17.998. Most of this field covered by about 0.6 of a second. Give me an interesting 25-lap run.
Absolutely, of course, this track isn't that long, but it is a fairly interesting one. It's a paper clip, a little bit like Williams Grove. We'll see what we can do here. It's 0.75 miles around for one singular trip around here, 25 laps. You got the grass on the inside, so you can't throw yourself to the inside line. We'll see how the outside works and if that works in. But either way, we're going to go to the grid here at USA International Speedway for round 2 of our World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. So, well, we'll just start it off right on the top as everybody's put in their qualifying time. Steven Renaud, the number 8 car, he will qualify in first. The only car to hit in the 17s, a 17.998, an absolute flyer. Tim Ryan, he'll be in 18.006. Kevin J. Holly will be starting in third. John Lazinski, he'll be starting outside row number 2 in position number 4. Austin Semmelman, he is doing good after last week's race at Eldora. He'll be starting in 5th. Robert Kerstetter, he'll be in 6th position. Robbie Stearns will be starting in 7th. Howard Weaver will be starting in 8th. Rhett Starnes in 9th. Davey Scoville in 10th. Ross Weiss in the 11th position. And Eric Ho and Mike Siebenek will be finishing out our race here at USA International. Randy, this is a fairly interesting circuit. No, it's not had dirt on it previous, but you know what? When you get to throw some dirt around, why not throw it on a track that seems to no longer exist? When you can do it here at USA, get a nice little paper clip on of it, have some fun here on a 3/4 mile.
Yeah, USA has actually been one of my favorite of the dirt tracks. I mean, Williams Grove has been number 1. Eldora is Eldora is, of course, historic and a favorite amongst everyone, but I love the way these tracks with long straights and tight corners run. I can't wait until we get some of the quarter milers into the sim and get some really, really tight action going. And up until then, really, this is the closest thing we have, the USA and Williams Grove. And like you said, very paperclip-ish, long front straightaway, long back straightaway, relatively tight in the corners. These guys are going to be able to race really, really aggressive at this place. And depending how the track comes in, you can be either down around the bottom, you can be up around along the middle. Sometimes, though, you can even find yourself up against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely, and as these cars are getting themselves ready to rock and roll behind that iRacing official pace truck, just like to make sure everybody knows and give a nice little shout out. Thanks for making RaceSpotTV part of your day, and as well as DirtVision and all of the other medias that you guys follow along with. We certainly appreciate it. Steven Renaud, he will get his car straightened out and behind that pace truck. We're going to go here, get I think it's probably just a 1-lap warm-up here, as I don't see the lights on that safety pace truck.
No, it's 2.
It is 2? Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. But one of these days, I will have the number count correct, I swear. But either way, these cars are getting themselves worked up 2 by 2. The track surface has moderate usage, and what that means is that we're going to see this track surface wear in very quickly, Randy, and we'll see what these guys can do with that surface when they're chasing the dirt.
Yeah, with the moderate usage already, that bottom is going to be already a little bit eaten up. It's going to be a little bit slick down there, but I don't think it's going to be quite slick enough that at the start of this race, I think we'll still see that bottom line be strong. However, if we get ourselves a good length green flag run in this one, I think that top side could come into favor a little bit later on in this one, and that's, at least for my opinion, that's when I start having fun in these wing sprint cars. Once you get up along the cushion, just a couple inches away from the wall, really putting the back end out there, trying to get the power down and power out of the corner, that's when these things get a lot of fun. 25 laps here, hopefully we can see a bit of that.
The 3/4 mile of USA International Speedway shouldn't be a bad show for us all. Hopefully we'll get a good long green flag run as the pace truck is going past the backstretch right now. He'll work his way towards the front of the field, to the front stretch one more time. The front of the field, though, Steven Renaud, he is going to be looking in his black and purple accented 410 wing sprint car to start round number 2, the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series here on the iRacing Live and RaceSpotTV. He'll let it go as soon as he is able, and off and away he'll go to the high side. Clean start here as they're going into one, throwing a very sideways, trying to find the dirt. Somebody's way up high, people are way down low. We've got a green flag here at USA.
I think we have a car stopped in 1 and 2. This is Davey Scoville. He's up against the wall. He's gotten off the racetrack, though, but Steven Renaud out to a blistering start and to an early lead. Tim Ryan fighting with Kevin J. Hawley down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Down along the bottom of the racetrack, and you see cars, some going up high, some going down low. Seems like that top side cam already coming in strong.
Yeah, Steven Renaud, he ended up just clipping well to the outside. He actually just went well to the inside of the paperclip, clipped the grass, and he went way high, so he is losing time hand over fist at 18.7 that last time by, and the cars chasing him of Tim Ryan was an 18.4, so 0.4 of 1 second, just like that. Thankfully, Steven did not manage to break his suspension at all. They're throwing it here. I think that they are going to have to really modulate that wing adjusters, as I see in the back a little bit of a slide job from Austin Semmelman as I'm looking at the battle for position number 4 between him and John Lazinski.
Keeping an eye out front, though, Steven Renaud is not safe out in front, but about a 0.5 is what the second place runner of Tim Ryan has taken out of that leading 8 car every time around this racetrack. But he's now got the 2 machine of Kevin J. Hawley to fight with through 3 and 4. Hawley not able to make the pass done, cycling himself back up into the 3rd spot, but still that 4 machine reeling in your leader of Steven Renaud as they work out of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Going to be 20 laps to go. Next time across the line is Steven Renaud, only driver in the 17s in qualifying. He's not going to get away with this one easy, though. They work down the front straightaway, and that second place runner a much better run into 1 and 2.
Absolutely, and here comes Tim Ryan. Will they click rims? No, they will not. Actually extraordinarily close for Tim Ryan as they are coming into corner number 1 once again here. The Australian on the inside. Will he get it sorted out? No, he will not. If that was the backstretch, excuse me. But Steven Renaud in the black and purple, Tim Ryan in the black and blue, and then Kevin J. Hawley in the black and turquoise being pursued by the all-black car of Austin Semmelman. Well, Randy, I think these guys are starting to have an enjoyment for the black color, but either way, Tim Ryan, he's trying to pull alongside, but he's trying to find his way. Oh, he ate some of the rear tire there, but he is throwing it to the inside, and they lock, and he will end up having to wash out, and he'll get himself sorted away.
That was an aggressive move, but as you talk about the top 4, you might think you're in New Zealand because it's all blacks in the top 4 from Renaud, Hawley, Ryan, and Semmelman. Semmelman still fighting with Ryan in 3rd and 4th, and now down into 1 and 2. Steven Renaud, after that little incident with the 4 machine of Tim Ryan, throwing that big aggressive move, has a little bit of breathing room as they go down the back straightaway and into 3 and 4, but Kevin Hawley has an opportunity now to win. He throws the big slider into 3 and 4, can't make it stick, but he's going to be able to cycle in just behind that number 8 machine as they come down the front straightaway now. That's 10 laps now, 9 laps in the books, logging lap number 10, coming off of corner number 2. Can Kevin J. Hawley get the run? He's got the momentum. I think he's going to throw it up the inside into 3. Yes, he does, but the door gets shut. 2 machine has to get off the throttle, and I think he clipped that inside wall.
2 tires in the grass, and he will actually clip the outside rim, and he will be sent all the way around. That axle ends up clipping into the inside of USA International Speedway. The car seems to be okay, but he'll have to loop that thing back around. Yellow flag pulled out for that. That happened right in front of the starter, and that's a pretty easy yellow to throw. And Kevin J. Hawley, boy, he tried that. He got 2 tires in the grass, and once he started doing that, he tried and tried to get that thing sorted out. but it just wasn't happening. I don't think Steven Renaud did anything wrong. He found himself on the in-line. No, once Kevin J. Holly, that right front was very dedicated to find the left rear of Renaud's car.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate incident here for Kevin J. Holly, but as you said, that 2 machine looks okay. He should be restarting from the back of the field, have no problems. We actually just had an incident under caution. Well, a little mental mistake there from Mike Siebenate, just basically, I think, lost track where the pace car was, came in too hot trying to catch the field, and he caught the back of Eric Hu. He went around, likely not a major concern, but sort of an interesting kind of rookie mistake there from Mike Siebenate.
Yeah, I don't think they touched. Oh, he managed to he was inches away, but yeah, he had to throw that that thing well to the back. So didn't lose any positions though, but either way, Kevin J. Holly, he's gonna have to try to find his way around here. This track is slick, Randy, and I think it's really evident. You're able to see Steven Renaud even. He's able to at least find a line that he's comfortable with here. But you talk about his laps, I mean 19s, 18.5s. I mean, it is a bit tough to race here today at USA International.
Yeah, sometimes the conditions can be relatively tough, especially when you're in that somewhat one groove situation. You don't really have the bottom isn't dead enough that you can really make the top work. So you see everyone, they're kind of running roughly in the middle. And when that happens, it gets very, very difficult trying to throw a slider on someone, because really when they're in the middle of the racetrack, you don't really have a lot of room to work with. And here, work in the middle is actually a little bit lower than it is at a lot of other racetracks around the United States. So it's very, very difficult in the conditions they have. I think in this last 10 laps, that bottom should slick off just a little bit more. And I think there might just be a short window if we stay green, where that top side really comes in around the cushion, where you might be able to make the move around the top of someone.
Okay, this time by we're gonna go green, as I finally understand, hey, the lights are off on the pace track. That means we're going green, as at least I hope this time. Pretty sure they've all lined up. They're ready to go. Steven Renaud, he is ready to rock and roll. Will he do what he did the last time that he had to start the field? Tim Ryan still on the outside. He qualified second, so the same row right off the start, right off the bat. Steven Renaud, he'll let it loose. 700 plus ponies now marching down USA International Speedway. We're green once again. Will get themselves sorted out. Tim Ryan well to the high end. That'll possibly allow Austin Semmelman to come in. No, they'll go into a line. They'll get their ways into 3 and 4 for the first time. Tim Ryan, though, he's trying to do that outside line.
Tim Ryan working the top side, and you can see already that slickness down along the bottom, not making it easy to make passes right now, as Austin Semmelman now has to fight with Rhett Starnes through 1 and 2. He's going to get that pass complete, but Starnes gets a big run coming off of corner number 2. I think he could have thrown it up the inside potentially, but chose not to. 3 machine now down to the inside against Ryan, trying to get the slider done, but not quite able to do so. Inside of 10 laps to go, make that 9 laps to go into 1 and 2 now. Steven Renaud still has a comfortable lead. Tim Ryan trying to reel that gap in.
Yeah, and they're now still continuing to work their way into corner number 3 here. Somebody's well to the low. Austin Semmelman's trying to make it work. I think these guys just keep catching some of that grass. Obviously, the grass is not going to be helping those tires, but Steven Renaud, he's just throwing it right there. He's trying to keep his way through. Tim Ryan, he's going to lock in. He's going to see what he can do. Let's look at the action down to the back, though. Robert Kerstetter, he is currently in a fight with Robbie Starnes and Ross Weiss, as these guys are fighting high-low through the corners right here, as Robert Kerstetter, he's able to keep his way through it here as they're trying to throw their way in. Some of these guys are throwing it so early into that green cone. I've seen a couple of these guys get some air.
Yeah, these guys getting really close through, really pushing the boundary. And you see the outside line through 3 and 4 seems to be preferred through 1 and 2. Seems like the bottom is still working relatively efficiently. You see them getting all the way down against the grass through 1 and 2. Now they come up onto the back straightaway yet again. Top 4 cars, all within about 1/10 of a second of one another. As the 4 machine of Tim Ryan going to throw a big slider into 1 and 2. He takes the lead for the moment, but the 8 machine works the cut back expertly. Steven Renaud retains the lead, but Tim Ryan wants it bad. He looks to the inside to get a 1 and 2, but way over the grass. I think he clipped the pit wall. Up to the top side he goes, and that gave Renaud a big lead. 3 wide though for second down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. The 9 machine on the bottom, the 3 in the middle, the 4 along the top. Gonna be 3 laps to go at the line, and there's contact, and we got 2 cars upside down. Bit of an incident here down the front straightaway with inside of a few laps to go.
Bit more than a bit. Tim Ryan, he ended up flying into the air. Not happy there. We'll try to see if we can get a replay. These cars, they were making contact, and through that motion, they ended up throwing themselves around. I think Rhett Starnes ended up picking up some of that damage. And looking at that replay now, Tim Ryan, though, the focus of that, as well as Austin Semmelman, 2 extraordinarily fast drivers. I mean, that was just, it's real hard to, when you're making that decision. They're saying that it really, the track is slicking to the point where a lot of these guys are just struggling, I think, for some grip, and it's hard to really try to make an attack and a launch a maneuver.
They need to learn how to deal with it then. That's dirt racing. We go to any dirt track night, any short track in the United States, end of the night in the feature, the track is really slicked off. This track is more than raceable. Maybe their sets can't deal with it, but that's on them more than anything.
Well, as we've known, the iRacing developers have most certainly not made it a secret that this season it's going to be a little bit more worn in. I think there was a lot of not complaints per se, but just some feedback that the track really didn't have a lot of time to slicken off, and so to allow us to get to that phase where people are really searching for grip, and that people who are able to find that grip will go to the front. I think the wing adjustments are also a pretty important aspect of this sprint car that we have here. You can push it forward, you can pitch it a little bit to the back, and most times it's for comfort, but really once you start getting to the bleeding edge of these cars' speed, you really need to be able to throw that car into a particular position, a bit like an IndyCar weight jacker, I guess, where it's not so much about your comfort level as it is about getting that all-important speed. And I think these guys perhaps are learning that here at USA, because you got to have that thing wrenched one way or another to get that right rear to stick.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another big season where people are really learning about these cars. Like you said, last season when we first got the dirt and everything, our racing officials basically said, you know, as you said, flat out, we're going to make it somewhat easy on everyone, kind of ease everyone into it. The tracks are going to be really sticky, but I mean, we're already seeing it in this race. This is about as slick as we've gotten it. We're not going to get a restart, so this is going to be the last lap under caution, unfortunately. So unfortunate end to what was turning into a exciting run to the finish, Cam, but you got the post-race calls. They run into 3 and 4.
Well, absolutely, Steven Renaud. I mean, he had an absolute fight back from Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan tried everything he could do. The Australian made an absolute effort of it, and it was great to watch him race with all these guys around him. But Steven Renaud, he'll lead from flag to flag as he will pick up his first victory here in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series and USA International Speedway. It was a good run, Randy, I have to say. Unfortunate that it ended under caution, but a little bit understandable with just how hard these guys were racing.
Yeah, those guys were really pushing each other to the limit. That, I mean, 3 wide down the back straightaway after that big slider came from Tim Ryan. I mean, it was really, really hard racing coming to the checkered flag, and sometimes, unfortunately, that's just how it all pans out. But down to the post-race results, Cam, what do you got to say?
Well, we'll get the music cued and we'll get everything sorted out, and we will take a look here at where everybody finished at USA International Speedway for round number 2 of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. It'll go to Steven Renaud in 10 minutes and 49 seconds. That number 8 car, he was up front all day. He didn't have to make too much of an effort. It seemed to be one line, but a lot of guys were trying, certainly. And that's not to say there wasn't a lot of action. From 9th to 2nd, Rhett Starnes will go. John Lazinski, he'll finish in 3rd. Robert Kerstetter, he'll come home in the 4th position. Ross Weiss will finish in 5th. Robbie Starnes will finish in the 6th position. Mike Seibenek, he'll come home in 7th after starting from 13th. Your final running car at the start, well, he'll finish mid-pack. Kevin J. Holly, what could have been, he finished in the 8th position. Howard Weaver in 9th. Eric Ho in 10th position. Austin Selman, he's involved in that wreck. He'll finish in 11th. Tim Ryan and Davey Scoville will round out the rest of this race, 12 and 13. We're going to take a quick moment, just a quick break. We'll be right back in just a few moments' time. We'll see if we can get anybody in the RaceSpotTV booth for interviews, but if not, either way, final thoughts and words, and we'll go from there. But either way, of course, you are watching RaceSpotTV, iRacing Live, and DirtVision.com, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Scott Speed. driver of this amazing Volkswagen Beetle GRC car. I got good news for the iRacing fam. We got this coming in. I'm currently working on it myself personally to make sure that it is as accurate as possible. With the addition of dirt and now this mean car, it is going to be so fun. And it's going to be available free to all the iRacing members. Personally, I can't wait to get out there and race you guys on it.
Welcome back to RaceSpotTV on iRacing Live and DirtVision.com. Of course, it was round number 2 of the USA Speedway race of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. Myself, Cam Welsh, Randy Chenoweth, Hugo Louis. We're seeing if we can get any biters on the interview booth. Not quite sure if that's going to happen though, Randy. So while we wait to see, give it a minute or two. Just take a look at this. It's one of the we've got 2 more circular tracks. We've got 2 paperclip tracks. This is definitely the longest one. This is longer than Williams Grove, I believe, anyways. And I think the racing was fairly good, but it's just people are really fighting for that grip.
Yeah, it's just what happens when you get aggressive racing, and I think as well people learning how to race on this slick surface is going to be really, really difficult because it's going to take, I think, a bit of getting used to, I think, for a lot of these guys in terms of being able to run super aggressive. But like you said, tracks that we have, the 2 paperclip shaped ones, you got Williams Grove and USA. USA, of course, being somewhat fictional as it doesn't exist anymore, but iRacing kind of just throwing dirt on it to give us an extra track in the list. Then the 2 circular ones, Eldora and Volusia. We go to the second of those next week. Volusia for 30 laps, going to be under the lights yet again. That's the second time this season. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Volusia, of course, I have to say pretty much my favorite, as it is very close to Brewerton Speedway, which probably will be a name you probably won't be hearing because of how small it is, but that's just how dirt racing goes. It's always about that grassroots racing, and well, either way, perhaps if you're interested, you like in what you're seeing, you can fire up your favorite search provider with the attached mapping tools and see if you can find a dirt race near you and go stop in and say hello. You certainly won't regret it, that's for sure, and that's coming from 2 diehard dirt racing fans. But either way, I think that that's gonna do it, and so with that, I will say that this, of course, has been a production of RaceSpotTV and Worm Design on the graphics, and well, it's been a good day here at USA International Speedway. We'd always love for it to go longer, but Randy, they got to pack these things in. So anything you'd like to say before we get this show on going down to Fallujah?
Can't wait till Volusia. Hope we see another slick racetrack, and that's going to be interesting.
Well, certainly. So, either way, for myself, Cameron Walsh, for Randy Chenoweth, for Hugo Louis, this has been a RaceSpotTV production. We'll see you later.